Joe Biden has come out of hiding, so to speak, and he didn't hold anything back. In a rare joint appearance with former First Lady Joe Biden on The View, the former president opened up about his decision to exit the 2024 race and then dropped a very funny truth bomb on Donald Trump that had the audience in stitches. And I have all the highlights coming up next. I will share that drop the mic moment with you in just a minute, but first, let's jump right in with this first clip that shows Whoopi Goldberg confronting him with a debate debacle that signaled the end of the campaign. Both he and Joe recall their feelings at the time and share their candid thoughts.
Well, you know what freaked everybody out was that debate.
Yep.
It wasn't a great night. It was a bad night.
It took on a life of, and I had a very, I'm going to say something outrageous. I've not lost many debates in my life. I've been pretty good at doing that. I was sick. I was no excuse, but
well,
I was not.
It's an explanation.
I was not, and I had a bad night.
Yeah.
And I had anyway. I'm not going.
Did you immediately know you had had a bad night?
Yeah, I did. But even after that, the polls just showed me down by 2 points.
And Hannah, you know, Joe came on. I went onto the stage after the debate. I mean, we all saw it. It was terrible. And so Joe looked at me and he said, I'll use screwed up. He said, he didn't say that. And I said, yeah.
We all know Joe Biden. We know what he said.
And I said, yeah, you did, Joe. But we have hundreds of people waiting for us. Put your shoulders back. Walk out there. You know, be who you are. And we were not going to let 90 minutes of a debate define his presidency and all those years of service. Yeah.
Let's stay with Jill, and in this next clip, she explains what it was like being accused of keeping Joe in a cocoon, and then I'll have the Joe zinger on Trump.
You are your husband's fiercest advocate and a close advisor, and it's been reported that you created a sort of cocoon around him and kind of limited his interactions with the media and others. Do you think you could have been too close to the situation to objectively gauge whether he could handle a full 4 more years?
I was with Joe day and night. I saw him more than any other person. I woke up with him. I went to bed at night with him. So I saw him all throughout the day, and I did not create a cocoon around him. I mean, you saw him in the Oval Office. You saw him making speeches. He wasn't hiding somewhere. I didn't have him, you know, sequestered in some place. I mean, that's
Wish she had.
Was that hurtful to you when they were describing you as Lady Macbeth and all of
Yes,
those?
it was very hurtful. It was very hurtful, especially from some of our so-called friends.
Yeah.
And now for the moment you've been waiting for. The mic drop moment featuring Joe Biden roasting Donald Trump in epic fashion, much to the delight of the live audience.
I promised I would ask you this question because only they want me to ask it. Okay. Not only is he obsessed with you and blaming you for everything, he's also obsessed with the fact that you used an auto pen to sign the pardons you issued right before you left office with members of your immediate family. Now he's calling for investigations and claiming the pardons are void and vacant.
Oh, he's vacant.
And on that note, we are going to break because that was the dropping of the mic.
And I just wanted to play one more clip from that interview. It's Joe's thoughts on Kamala Harris and the future of the Democratic Party.
And there has been some reporting that you encouraged her for there to be no daylight between the two of you. First, is that true? And do you think in retrospect that she should have tried to differentiate all the wins that your administration had?
Well, look, first of all, I did not advise her to say that, number one. Like I said, I was vice president. I understand the role, number one. Number two, I think she was talking about wouldn't have changed the successes we've had, not opposed to that we wouldn't change anything at all. She has to be your own person, and she was. She was. And so I think that was used in a way that is contrary to what she meant by when she said that. And I think that, she was part of every success we had. We'd argue like hell, by the way. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
We sit and say, well, what about this provision? No, Joe, I don't like that. Well, anyway, we worked it out. It was a mutual thing.
So Why do you think the vice president lost, and were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised, not because I didn't think the vice president was the most qualified person to be president. She is. She's qualified to be president of the United States of America.
Right.
But I was surprised. I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is a woman. She's this. She's that. I mean, it really. I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign undercutting the notion that a woman couldn't lead the country, and a woman of mixed race.
Yeah.
And they played that to a fairly well. In addition to that, one of the things happened, if you notice, and I'm going to be shorter, okay? I promise.
Okay.
She said, "Don't be Joe Biden. Be short."
I said that to him.
Anyway, make a long story short, all kidding aside, think about it. Liberal democracies all across America, all across the world lost last time.
Yeah.
All across America. I think we underestimate the phenomenal negative impact that COVID had and the pandemic had on people, on attitudes, on optimism, on a whole range of things. So I was very disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. The only thing that surprised me is the excess to which they've gone in some of the attacks they've made.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you spoke with the vice president, and has she talked to you about what she wants to do next? Sought any advice? Maybe governor?
Yesterday, I talk to her frequently. We stay in touch, number one. Number two, she's sought my opinion. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
What to wear to the Met Gala.
That's exactly right. No, but all kidding aside, she's got a difficult decision to make about what she's going to do.
Yeah.
I hope she stays fully engaged. I think she's first rate. But we have a lot of really good candidates as well. So I'm optimistic. I'm not pessimistic about the future.
It is great to see Joe and Joe Biden out front at this critical moment in time, speaking honestly and reminding the country what real people look like in contrast to the bizarre cast of characters we now see in the White House. Democrats and America as a whole needs all the credible voices we can get to shine a light on the chaos and destruction Donald Trump has caused and the threat he still poses. Joe Biden didn't just show up to reminisce, he showed up to rally. His praise for Kamala Harris was more than just gracious, it was strategic. It was a moment of clarity for the Democratic Party, one that said, we have depth, we have decency, and she fought the good fight. The contrast could not be more clear. While Trump surrounds himself with cringy loyalists and sycophants, Biden shows up with his wife and speaks to the country like a trusted sage. That may not win over the MAGA base, but moments like these give the rest of Americans the security of knowing that one party still stands for sanity and stability and was not hijacked by a pathological authoritarian.